All right. How's it going tonight, everyone? Welcome. Hope your week's been going well, and I don't know, it's holiday weekend here in the U.S. Although I'm not sure how many people are feeling patriotic for Independence Day. But whatever your feelings are towards things. Either way, day off work. So yeah, how's it going, Subuntu? Welcome. How are you? So we're gonna try to pick up the conversation serialization stuff tonight. Um, Maybe we'll get to some other stuff. I don't know. We got a buttload of issues. Oh, okay. I guess it's only 35. So a whole bunch of stuff got rearranged. We haven't gone through any of this at all. That's okay. Not a big deal. But this is everything that got pushed over for the release and everything. We do have a pull request or two open already. So I opened a pull request last night. We merged it already to update IBIS to 0.14. That's something we were supposed to do before the release, and I totally forgot about it. It fixed a build failure on OpenBSD, and it adds a bunch of other stuff. We can just go look, because I don't remember the specifics. It's good to know, and it's good to test our stuff. But so if we go to IBIS here, we'll see 0.14 has been released. So we made sure all the documentation list all our dependencies. That's a fun one. Fix the OpenBSD compiler. Apparently we're missing Pango in our Debian build container. We made IBIS message parse a constructor. Yep. We made the IBIS format constants public. Added helpers for handling hosts for DCC messages, and implemented client-side pings. Those are all good things. That probably should have been in Experimental 3. Whoops. But as part of the pull request where we pulled that in, I forgot to update the stupid Flatpak manifest. So you'll see QLogic had a comment there. Boom. That's not what I meant to do. Right at that. I said, update Flatpak manifest too. I said, yes, I really need to get the habits sooner rather than later. So then I realized I can build a unit test to do this for us. It's not great. It's a little hacky, but it works, which is, cool. It's hacky because the Flatpak manifest doesn't actually have the version name in it, or the version number. So what we do is right now we check to see if it's in the source URL, and then go from there. So technically this works, but so I learned last night while talking in the Mason matrix room. There's a bunch of all the Mason, maybe not all of it, but Mason info directory, everything. I guess it's just about everything in here. Anything that you can use Mason introspection for, you can get right here. So if you look at Mason info /intro project info, you can see everything that was built as part of a subproject, including the subproject directory. Oh, I was going to fix this too. Apparently our license isn't set right. And then, yep, there's everything that was used as a subproject for this build. So what I do is I grab this list and then I look through the Flatpak manifest, which looks like this. So we load the module section, and then I rekey the dictionary. This is a list. I key it. I turn it into a dictionary by making the name the key to the dictionary, and then I go through the sources and I look for a source URL that has the number in it. Right. So when we get to burb, we look to see we see 040 in the burb source URL, and then if we don't, we error. Right, and it fails the unit test. So it's effective. It's not ideal, but it works. And it gets ran as part of turtles, right? So Mason test -v Flatpak dependencies, right? Sweet. So if I change the version number in a subproject, right? So I say subprojects / hassle, right? Oh, we released hassle 041. Oh no, this isn't gonna work right because it pulls this out of the Mason build for it. I'd have to do a whole regular build setup for it. But so when I change this and I run the build and update and everything, that will then not match anymore, and then, yep, then we don't waste reviewer time on me forgetting to do something, which is good. because it's silly. So we'll see how it scales out long term. It might be broken. It might be okay. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's look at that licensing real quick, though, before we forget about it. I forgot about it last night. I'm going to forget about it again today if I don't do it right away. Yeah, so we don't have a license set in here. So if you look at, like, ibis/mason.build, so the Pidgin license is a little confusing. That's going to be one of the problems here. So what do we say? Here we have just, okay, so just GPL. What's the SPDX identifiers? That's what this is supposed to be. GNU general public license. No, it's a FRO. We need. Damn, there's a lot of license. GNU, no documentation. General public license 2 or later. Okay. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So we ninja. So the goal here for the next couple days, weeks, whatever, is to get this feature finished, to get the conversation serializations finished and merged, so we can work on the contact list as well, and then at some point in here we got to get Pidgin 2.15.0 released and Retro Purple, and then in the background there, I'm planning on moving the plugin pack Goofications 2. I'm not sure what else. We're going to throw that on GitHub, make it so it's easy for people to get to, and we'll see if contributors are a thing. They're not, but that way people can shut the fuck up about it not being on GitHub. I'll be like, look, I'm still doing all the work. Where are these contributors? All right, so now we have a license. I don't know if we want to do both. Do we want to do the license file too? Oh, no. I'm thinking I'm in Sublime. Also, with tomorrow being the 4th of July, the big thing here is fireworks. So you're going to hear popping. Okay, there's a good chance of it. In the background behind me, all stream. My windows are closed, though, so hopefully it's quiet, but we'll see. Takes a string or array of strings with passed to license files the code is under. This enhances the value of the license kwarg by allowing to specify both the short license name and the full license text. Usually it's to be something like license files copied. Note that the files are informal and are only installed with the dependency manifest. Mason does not do any license validation. You are responsible for verifying that you abide by all licensing terms. You can access value in your Mason build files with Mason project license files. Interesting. Okay, yep, so we're just going to set that right over to. The thing is that I like the new thing that all the free software people are pointing to is Codeberg, but you know how that goes. Maybe tomorrow it'll be SourceForge again. Now, people really don't like SourceForge and they don't want to give them another chance, which is kind of funny, but whatever. Yeah, it's copying. Oh, it's license files, not headers. Or yeah, or is that what you're saying? They're like, yeah, you have it on GitHub, but you don't have a mirror on GitLab. It's just like, fuck off. Go away. But now, forever, people have been like, you'd get more contributors if you were on GitHub. All right, we're starting to put stuff on GitHub. Where are these contributors? Hmm. Appropriate values for. Tell Mason about our license. I suppose we can just do ninja or mason discs. Well, yeah, a lot of people seem to use the argument that since there are so many people on GitHub, that means that all of those people will contribute to your project. Or that a large portion of those users will contribute to your project. And okay. Oh, Python supported versions. Do we have to bump that in G plugin? G plugin needs so much TLC. Alright, 3.14 is not out yet, so 3.13 is still good. And we still had 3.13 here, right? I think. I saw it fly by. I didn't catch what we were at, though. G plugin. Oh, we don't have 3.13 in the list. Whoops. Alright, well, that's an easy fix. Shit, I just built again. Whatever. Oh no, we're still going. Alright. RBT post. Bonk. I wonder why mine's working, but okay. 40-45. Mason disc. I don't know where G plugin is. I think it's open. Nope. What was I doing here? Oh. No default loader in loader tests. The start of not using the default loader in the loader tests. Okay. Oh, we do have 3.13 in here. I guess I just didn't see it. I'll say this shouldn't be working unless I still have 3.12 installed. Ninja.js. 9 Inch Nails wrote a JavaScript library. I think I've made that joke before. I don't remember. Do you remember? I don't remember. G plugin. Lua. Oh, right. I think we look for Python 3 embed first, and then we'll fall through to the other ones. Or something like that. Is that what's going on? Oh, or nope. Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't... Nah. Sure. Who cares? Alright. Anything else quick to get through? Oh. So, I bootstrapped this before stream. So we have been threatening to write a SIP library. And I pretty much realized we have to, but we came up with the name today. The name is pretty good. I like it. I'm gonna share the README here so you all can read it. I made a skeleton for the project. The name of the new SIP parsing library or integration library is Regret. Somehow, nobody has created an open source project named Regret. At least not that I can find. as the description says, nearly all the libraries related to pigeon in one way or another are named after species of birds. We were looking at naming this Huron, which could be kind of heard as, or Huron, which could kind of be heard as Huron, but not really. That's when we stumbled across egrets, which are very similar to herons, but I've always said it Hurons. That's why I got it confused, but whatever. But then we put an R in front of it, and that's how we got regret. It works on a number of levels. As mentioned, it is a bird species, and numerous people have recommended against us writing this library, saying we'll regret it, and we probably will, so the name makes perfect sense. So, yep. Yet another library, and this one's named Regret. Time will tell if it is self-prophizing. Prophizing? Yeah, just prophizing. Or not. But yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. So what I was going to do here. What branch am I on? HE branch. Okay. Protocols. SIP. Maybe we should wait on this. I was going to pull out, no, we're not. SIP Mason is what I was looking for. Was gonna pull this out. Yeah, let's. Oh, we don't build without that then, do we? Because do we? Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So we're regret's nowhere near ready to be pulled in or anything yet, but yeah, okay. So we didn't actually even turn on Sophia yet. We added it as a build dependency, but apparently we didn't use it anywhere. Oh. So this will just pull that out, so we don't need to worry about it anymore. Yeah, cool. That's probably going to go away. That's okay. Yeah. So I also started collecting a bunch of SIP messages. So what Regret is going to do is it is going to its main focus is going to be serialization and deserialization of SIP messages, as well as a simple server that'll work as basically a virtual host provider kind of thing, but not really, right? So like you'll create, I don't even know that we're going to make the concept of lines or anything in it. We'll see. But the idea is it'll be able to listen on multiple TCP and UDP ports, and then you'll get a callback when a message comes in. And that's going to map to the protocol plugin by whenever the SIP so that's going to be like the main part of the SIP protocol plugin. And then when none of the SIP accounts are online, it's going to turn off those listeners. But as long as any of them's on, if one of them's on, cool, as it'll reject the others. We're gonna a long way to go to figure it out, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, that is the plan there. I guess we could really just do. I'm looking for docs, but there wouldn't been any docs or anything with this, so that should be fine. Remove Sophia as a dependency, as we're not going to use it. I should probably run turtles, but we'll get there in a second. 4046. Gold and the turtles. Yep, cool. Publish. Ugh. Okay, okay. It's really like alias that. You can do revision aliases in Mercurial. So I could do my default typo as default and it would just work. It'd be pretty funny. I think I've got one of those in here somewhere. Yeah, oh, red set aliases. Yep, there we go. Ah. Okay. There is another thing we could do right now, although I don't know that it's worth the effort at the moment. With IBIS 0.14, we have the beginnings, or we have what we can use to do file transfers for IRC. Now, a lot of people don't do file transfers, but the problem is we have a bunch of file transfer API we haven't really tested yet. So if we if we implement file transfer for IRC here, that would be cool. Actually, before we, I don't know that that would necessarily make sense, but let's see what happens. Because part of this depends on our network preferences, and a lot of our network preferences going forward, not all, but a lot of them depend on Traversity, and Traversity hasn't really gone anywhere in a while. And that's okay, right? Because we haven't had need to it. But what do we have in network preferences right now? Didn't we make? Yeah, this should be resizable. Yeah. Somebody was complaining that we look too gnome-like, and it's just like, this is just responsive, man. Chill out. Although that should probably not get that small, but okay. Network. We have stun server. Okay, so we do have ports in here. Still. I hate them. Oh. Okay. I don't know why that icon's missing. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so we have this stuff. We should probably... whatever, it's fine. Okay, that's fine. But yeah. So we have the stuff there that we need to worry about right now for it, which is cool. But like I said, not that I want to necessarily go through and do any of that right now. I'm more worried on the core like features of like shit everybody uses rather than something few and people would use. So, yep. Oh, so I got a silly idea for a plugin today, and I forgot to write it down. Create a rubber duck protocol. I'm sure if this is better as a protocol or as a user in the demo protocol plugin, but it might be useful or at least fun to have a user that could respond to messages with random responses that imitate that they are listening and understanding, or listening to you and understanding what you are saying. Rubber dog debugging. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a, yeah. To imitate rubber duck debugging. Responses could be would be a random selection from some examples of the random responses would be, God, these fireworks. Can you guys hear this shit? I was talking with Recanaro to this, and I just rattle off a bunch of them off the top of my head. Okay. Weird. That's interesting. Wait. Can you explain that in a different way, etc.? Yeah, so basically this would be like a mock AI chatbot or something that it just is randomly picking one of these, right? So it's listening to you, you're talking to it, you're explaining things to it, and then you also get the notes for it, right? Which I think would be helpful, maybe? Let's bro. Well, maybe not dev. I don't know. We'll see. I will put it CPW. Size is, I don't know, medium? Sure. Oh, wait. I don't want it assigned to me. Like, I could probably knock it out pretty quick, but it just depends if I want to go protocol or not. Okay, well, it's still here, not done, but that's okay. Well, it's just gonna be my issue. I need a tissue. Do we have anything else we can knock out here real quick? Oh, let's do that. So yeah, let's do that real quick. So in experimental 3 is rough just because we ran out of time. We didn't have a lot of time to polish stuff. We probably put too much time into retro purple stuff like that. Whatever. We're an open source project. We're not trying to. We're not making money off of this. Who gives a shit, right? But so one of the things we ended up doing during that cycle was we added formatting and the toggle to turn formatting on and off. As part of that, it looked like when we were using if you use markup to get links to work, we weren't able to undo the formatting. The problem is the use markup is somehow exposing a bug in our code, but I'm not sure how yet. But in the meantime, we can make links work again because we know that's not the problem. Because I've built a proof of concept to prove that out, and that's just the way it is. So we want to go to content. And we can actually turn this back on now. And then... Oh, we had a helper for this. I don't remember what it was called. We should probably just find that commit and revert it. Okay, here we go. This is back in May. I had a preference for toggling whether or not to show formatting. There's no user interface for this right now, but command looks whatever. This required turning off use markup on the current label because mixing attributes with that caused the labels to never remove attributes. This means we broke links which are being handled because use markup was true. To fix this, we're going to need to create a new widget that can handle whatever. Yeah, okay. So this was 3970 was the review. So in the UI file, what do we change here? So yeah, use markup got changed. Okay, so we had that in a closure. Okay, so we just want to put that back in a closure. The closure. Okay, yep. So that stays. Yep. And then we're gonna copy this guy back. It's a message. Yep. This would be nice because it means I can click links again. Yay. Where was this? This was before tooltip contents callback. Tooltip contents callback. Link. Okay, review board. Thanks. That was helpful. Copy. Copy. I don't know what's going on, but it's really annoying. That's gonna do a comment. I don't want to comment. Why won't you let me copy the old thing? Can I like drag and drop somewhere? Yeah, drag and drop worked. But not a paste. I don't ever drag and drop. I don't know what it is. Okay, so whatever. This is fine. I just opened gedit and dumped it into gedit. All right. How did we get around the escape stuff? We should have still had to have escaped. I don't know. All right. But there should just be that, and then and where the hell's the? There it is. It didn't copyright either. What the shit? All right. This is before or after tooltip? Tooltip edited is where we put it. Fine. Find template callback widget class blurg. Blurg is a official term. So now when I go over here and I say www.pidgin.im. Woo! Yeah. Cool. Re-enable links. Looking for a fun mobile game to pass time here and there? Yeah, let me know when you find one that's not a nightmare. Right now, I've been doing jigsaw puzzles. I don't remember the name of the app. Jigsaw HD is what I've been doing. But I recommend an ad blocker. Alright, re-enable links in Pidgin message. This was disabled in /r/3987. Is that what it was? 3970 plus 3970, as we thought was breaking formatting. However, I've since put together a proof of concept that proves that you can toggle or you can set the Pango attributes to null or an empty list, to null or empty, and the formatting gets removed. That means the bug is somewhere in our code, but I haven't yet found it. But in the meantime, it makes sense to turn links back on as they're super useful. Most mobile games are, yeah, well, I mean, it's not just that they're still so trash, is that they're purposely trash and they're getting to be more trash. And it's just absolutely absurd. Everything is just, oh, watch this ad, watch this ad. I like, at least a lot of stuff doesn't have lives anymore, right? Where it's like, oh, you have to wait 20 minutes before you can get another attempt, right? At least that shit seems to be gone. But fucking hell, man, right? Joined an IRC channel and sent a link from Pidgin 2 and verified that it was displayed and operated correctly. Oh, come on, elbow pop. Okay, so that'll be nice to have links again. Yay. Which way do we want to go here? We do need to get back to working on Haya at some point. We should do that sooner rather than later, but you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to think, what are some other stuff that's been driving me nuts? It should be easy to get to. Oh, alright, well, let's get back to the conversation stuff. Reaches. Is that the... Jesus. All right. Oh no, Seagull Conf Manager's real one. So, I ended up chasing a bug in this, which was not a bug. It was, I was doing stupid stuff and not realizing I was doing stupid stuff, and that was the problem. So, right now we've just kind of hacked this together to get this going, and that's okay, right? It's not a huge deal. It's okay. Yeah, we might break this up more. That's okay. So when we first started this, we started this as a the save conversation function had helpers, purple conversation manager, save conversation properties, members, etc. Right? We might go back to doing that, but right now this is where we are right now. So we begin a transaction. If that fails, we get out of here. Otherwise, bind the object. If that fails, so this is broken logic. This needs to be fixed. Yeah, okay. So, wait, why is this 2 space tabs? Okay. So, we try to roll back the transaction. If that fails, we still need to reset the statement regardless. I don't know what we're going to do in this case exactly, because yeah, it's a problem, right? The other issue here is, what does gset error do if it's already set? Does nothing if error is null. If error is non-null, then error must be null. A new G error is created and assigned to. Okay, so that's annoying. Oh, never mind. We're clearing the error. We're fine. We're fine. But so like if the transaction fails to roll back, the state of the database is fucked, right? Then that's a technical term here. So like we probably shouldn't use the database anymore. But I think we're gonna keep attempting, and we'll see what happens. I don't even know how we trigger this problem, right? So yeah. But so part of the problem is we're gonna have to do this entire setup multiple times, and I'd like to avoid that. But we'll see what's gonna happen. So one of the other ideas I want to do for Seagull, we're not gonna do it right now, but I'm thinking we're gonna have a transaction rollback and reset statement or something, so that we can then just throw the statement in here too, and then it'll do both parts of these and go from there. But then we'd only have one error if one of them failed. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right. So, anyways, that'll reset both of those. That's cool. So then we get the account from the conversation. We bind the account ID to this property. We check if the bind was correct. Again, this is wrong, right? We have to do both of these separately. Both of them have to happen both times. That's not doing it that way is wrong. Turn value step is whether, oh, right, there's this problem. Okay. So I made a weird thing here, but it's okay. And yeah. So I entered an issue for this, I think. Not user group. I want project? Yeah. Did... Those aren't resolved. Alright, I don't know what the fuck Utrack just did, but sure. So we still have to do the bind error stuff. But the idea is to add a Seagull statement, add or step full. And stepful will give you take parameter roll back on failure. So if the step failed, we'll roll back the database transaction. Or if it's successful, or then the next parameter is whether to commit if it was successful. Then reset the statement on failure or reset the statement on success. And the idea is this will just help us get rid of a lot of code, ideally. Yeah. And if the, yeah, we'll figure out the, we'll put a note in here too. Have to be careful with the error, as we'll only be able to return one of them. And it should be the most critical one, which would typically be transaction related. We should also probably warn or call G warning. Oh, that's a problem. All right. I thought we fixed that. Call G warning with them. Regardless. Okay. But yeah, so that would clean up some of this, right? So in step, you know, we would have rollback set to true. We wouldn't commit here yet. We have more to do with the commit after this. Yeah, like right now, this doesn't do a rollback or reset the statement, and this is the bug I was hunting, which was totally wrong. Like I didn't need to hunt it here. Was the problem. So yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and we're not resetting the statement here either. Commit the transaction. Reset the statement. Yep. Okay, that'll take care of that part. Those two are together. Then we need this again here. Oh yeah, see, but we didn't roll back the transaction here either. But you'll see this. Look at all this I said ridiculous. All this redundant code. Right? It's just kind of like, oh yeah, this is shitty. But this should actually work and be happy now. Like I was getting weird things about like invalid parameter use and other bullshit. I was like, what in the fuck? And then I finally realized that I was seeing that warning 3 times when I should have been seeing it 4 times. And it's because I never reset the statement and I bound a property that was already bound. And that's what the warning was. So yeah. So yep. So we should have all of this stuff in here now. SQLite 3 conversation, select star from conversations. Right? So yeah. Oh, so I have 3 conversations open. Right? I can't count. I have 3 conversations open. 1, 2, 3. Right? So select ID, comma, title from conversations. All right, there you go. Yay! We might change the way title works in here to be title for display, which is different slightly. But that gets based on some other. That's going to be something weird we're going to have to work with eventually. Title for display is not writable, so you've got to get creative with it. But yeah, so everything else looks okay. What is it? SQLite show results as rows. No, that's not it. What the hell do you call it? Headers. This isn't quite, so there's dot headers, and then line mode. Mode line, that's what I want. So it gets more obvious what everything is. Oh, that's count star. Right. Boom, there we go. Much easier to deal with. But we can see all that stuff's here. Those are writing. That's sweet. We still have to do the member list and the other crap we're going to do, but this is all here. It works. It does the right thing. SQLite has been working great for you. I don't have a lot of experience with it, and I wonder if you've hit issues. So we wrote a library to make the API easier for us to digest. But I mean, we haven't used it a ton, so I don't know if you're asking about like scaling issues or what, but we're single writer, single reader, so should be fine for us. And single threaded even. But the, trying to reuse prepared statements and only use name parameters is very tedious with the stock API. So we wrote a library around it called Seagull. I don't think there's a good, yeah, we don't have like a about or why in here, but basically the idea is, actually maybe we do on the statement object. No. Huh. Is it, do we have this in the README or something? I swear we wrote this. Nope, okay, I guess not. But yeah, so anyways, the main thing is, right, so we begin a transaction here. You have an API to do it rather than the SQL statement to do it, which is a little different, but it's okay. But then we created stuff called like bind object, so we can give it a G object, and we give it a prefix of conf, and then it'll just go and do the whole thing. But more, some of the other stuff I should mention too. So, this is our insert property statement. Yes, it is an upsert, right? So it's an insert, but on conflict, if the account ID and conversation ID already exist, it'll instead do an update and set all this stuff. But so we wanted to use name parameters everywhere, including in the code, to make things more obvious and to make things less brittle, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And to make that happen, you have to, SQLite, all of the bind APIs or the column APIs are all index-based or all integer-based on their index. And that means you end up having to look up the column name or the parameter name each time. And it was getting really tedious, right? Well, it'd be really silly, right? So like whenever anything would change in a conversation, we would then have to look all that up and create the statement and blah, blah, blah. So then it was like, all right, well, let's keep the prepared statements around because these things aren't going to change. We're just going to reuse them again and again and again. But then the problem became that the API to do the serialization, or not even API, the code to do the serialization was a nightmare. Or not a nightmare. It was just, there was a ton of it. Just an absolute shit ton of it. And like it didn't do anything for readability or maintainability or anything, and it kind of sucked. So we wrote Seagull to tackle that. Yeah, it was all in the stream, or I did it all on stream. So then the idea became, well, in Seagull we also added a basic API for handling migrations. So SQLite doesn't have any way to do migrations built in, which is fine, right? It's not a big deal. So we created a thing. So SQLite has a pragma for user version or something. Oh yeah. So attempts to read the results of pragma user version, which is the API used to store the schema version. So we just keep a counter of that, so we use pragma user version as the counter for what the migrations are at, and then you give us a list of strings or a list of resources for G-object based stuff. And then we will run those when you tell us to run migrations from resources, right? So like you can call this, and if the pragma version is 0, then we run all of them, right? Otherwise, we figure out which one we're at, and we run the ones we have to. So like in our unit tests and stuff, We actually use the migrations to set up the database for unit tests. Oh yeah, I was testing what SQLite 3 does if you give it like a bad column, and it's not ideal. If you give it a made up column, so what do I do here exactly? All right, so no, that test has. Oh no, that's what it is. Yeah, so if you didn't get a row, yeah, okay. So if you didn't get a row back in the statement, this is what I was trying to do to figure out the next step here. So if you do a step, right? So Siegel is just a compatibility, not even compatibility. It's just a syntactic sugar on top of SQLite. You can still get SQLite directly, right? So we create our Siegel statement, blah, 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 using our methods. And then we pull out the actual SQLite 3 statement here, and we manually call SQLite 3 step on it to see what it does. So what we did is we did a select from here, but the table's empty, right? So the question was, okay, return SQLite done, but what happens if we try to pull a column out of there? And the answer is it returns a value because this has no errors, right? So even giving it a column index that doesn't exist in the result column, it returns 0, which is not ideal, right? So I was trying to figure out if you go back here, right? I was saying I did some weirdness with the API when I wrote Siegel statement step, which is not ideal, but so the return value of step is whether or not there's data to be read. It's not if there was an error or not. It's whether or not there's data. Since it's an insert statement, we ignore it, right? And then we only check error. Functionally, this works, but it's different than all the other API that returns a Boolean and takes an error, because those ones are the Boolean return value is whether or not it was successful. So one of the reasons to do Siegel statement step full and step simple is so that we can change that return value from a Boolean to an enum. And that enum can say, no data or data, essentially, or error. And yeah, it's fine, right? This still works. This is okay. But, you write libraries, you make mistakes, right? You write code, it is what it is, right? It happens. But yeah. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to change the save conversation properties. Actually, hold on. Let's do this first. This is not okay. We have to fix the error stuff, but this is going to be turn false. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna, okay, yeah, that's fine. We still have more to do here, but that's okay. Okay. So we're not going to pass an error or anything in here. That's a little weird, but it's okay, right? Do we have the type checks on here? No, we did not. All right, yeah, because this is all private API. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we are just going to say G Boolean success equals false. Success equals save conf properties manager conversation. If not success, return. Right. We want to call multiples of these, but we obviously, if the last one was not successful, we're not going to continue on the next one. So this is just going to be the dispatcher that goes through and decides which ones to call and stuff. But yeah, so there's a few more things we got to do here. Not too bad. So you'll see we don't have created on or creator ID yet. Or we might. Those, let's look at this query again. All right, so creator ID we didn't set yet. So That's okay. We already set account ID, right? And so anything that has conf, that's getting bound by the object. And anything that doesn't have a conf prefix is something we haven't bound yet because either we don't have a way to do it or something. So like there should be an error. Oh no, we took error out of here entirely. We just didn't put error in here because I have to add that to Seagull itself. But so creator ID, we are going to do purple contact info star contact, sure. So before the step, right? This is find the account, and then we need to, if we have a creator, bind it. All right, so this becomes contact equals purple conversation get creator. I think that's the API. Yeah, it's not how you spell conversation, but close enough. Okay, yep. Conversation. If purple is contact info, contact. Nope. Let me say const car star ID equals purple contact info get ID contact. And then we say success equals Seagull statement bind text. Manager insert properties, comma. It's gonna be the same thing here. Oh, actually, we can just do it this way. We don't have to do the separate thing. I'm just gonna copy this whole block. Okay, right. So then instead of this becomes creator ID. And this becomes purple contact info get ID contact. Failed to bind creator ID to insert properties. Failed to roll back transaction. Failed to reset the insert property statement. Blah blah blah. Right. So now. Leave that there. I don't know where that is. Yeah, okay. Temporarily put that into Seagull. How's it going, Fallen? Welcome, welcome. How are you? I need to build before I run Mason. But yeah, if we can get through the SQLite stuff here and actually get us to the point where we can do this whole conversation stuff, that'll be super cool. And then the join conversation or join channel hack thing can go away, which will be super. All right, so, oh, right. IRC doesn't have any creators. Well, I don't know if that's working or not. Yay. We don't have to actually quit. But yeah, none of these have a created time. Like they might, but we don't get it easily. But that's okay. We might have set the topic author ID. Do we not have topics on any of these? We don't. All right, so hold on, let's do this. Slash topic. Stream safe testing zone. Okay. I spelled save. I spelled it wrong. Okay, but you'll see the topic updated here. Cool, that's working. But instead of save, let's make it say safe. So, yep. Okay. So this stuff is working. Yay. Oh yeah, we didn't put error in here. Error in the statement, but error is in the table. It's fine. Yep. Okay. So we could it probably makes sense for us to have a purple content. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We have to do this exact same thing 3 times alone for statements. So right. So we got topic ID and creator ID, and or plus the account ID. Well, the account doesn't actually go from the contact info though, so never mind. We just have it twice here. But we're gonna use that a lot more. I'm thinking we should put a helper for it. Is what I'm saying. So let's say static gboolean purple conversation manager bind bind contact ID purple or yeah, sure. Seagull statement star statement comma I guess we'll do the column name const car star column name const purple contact info star contact. Let's start with that. Yeah, that's calling purple. Yeah, okay. So this the benefit here would be right. We would get this contact. Yeah, actually, we would just do it that way, right? So we'd say save contact. No. Bind contact ID. Purple conversation get creator. I will still leave it this way. Contact. Manager, insert properties. Creator ID. Oh, did I change the order of these? I did. Contact. Yep. That didn't save me as much as I wanted. Yeah, this really doesn't do much for me, does it? Not at all. Like, unless I reset the statement and the transaction and everything, it doesn't matter. Although arguably, I can start and stop this transaction here. That'll make things easier. I still will have to do the rollback each time, but that's okay. Right, but that means I don't have to roll it back each time here. If not success, rollback. Yeah. This will manage the transaction. These guys will just manage the statements. That'll help clear this up at least a little bit. I also have this idea that I want to make a transaction object, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to work well for us. But we'll see. But the idea being you'd have multiple statements in there, and then it can reset the statements for us if the transaction gets rolled back, and blah, 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 blah. That's the thought. I don't know that it necessarily makes sense, but we'll see. Yeah, this is much easier to read here. Let's not be dumb here. If we're going to do the transaction that way too, we might as well do the statement. Remove all that code we're calling again and again and again to the thing that calls that code. Else. Oh no, shit! I put that in the wrong spot. That's supposed to be here. Else, we still have to reset the statement. Right, so this is the problem where this just gets ridiculously redundant again and again. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, it sucks. Right. But yeah, so after we save the properties, then we reset the statement because we're done with it. We shouldn't need to do anything else with it. So this can go away. This can go away. This can go away. Okay, that helps a lot. No. All right. More specifically, I don't know what you're talking about, SWK. Is that a SQLite thing? If it is, it's news to me. Save points are a method of creating transactions similar to begin and commit, except that save point and release commands are named and may be nested. The save point command starts a new transaction with a name. Transaction names need not be unique. A save point can be started either within or outside a begin commit when a save point is... Yeah, I don't think this... Insert, if good, save point. Update, if fail, roll back to save point. Yeah, this is all one big transaction, though. And like, unless I'm going to retry or something, yeah, that's not a thing for us. Right, because we're trying to capture the entire state of a conversation at once. Right, so there's going to be multiple things happening there. This isn't like all conversations at once. This is one conversation at a time, atomically write it to the database. Unless there's something I'm missing here, which is very possible. Oh, right. This is supposed to have... That should be if purple is contact info contact, then do this. Else, if it gets cleared out for some reason, we need to clear it out. So we need to say success. Siegel statement bind null. Manager insert properties. Creator ID. Error. I think that's it. Oh, okay. A whole bunch of shit busted. Oh, I don't have an error there. That's okay. Sharing with a value and function returning void. Oh, right. Yeah, I think that's fine then. So we're probably gonna do this as two separate pull requests. One to serialize everything, and then one to load everything back in at startup and deal with any bugs and stuff we missed. Like, it's not ideal, but yep, it is what it is, right? Okay, everything looks fine. We didn't see any warnings or anything, right? Yeah, it looks okay. Okay, so that did, if we have a creator bind it. We have a topic author, bind it. It's topic author. Topic author. And then in the statement, this is topic author ID. We might be saving that, we might not. I'm not sure right now, honestly. How's it going, Gaming Ninja? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Good to hear. Good to hear. Oh, look at that. We are storing that in IRC with the topic updated. I didn't even realize topic updated was in there before. Was it in there before? Yeah, it was in there. Sweet. All right. So you see, you know, we got a bunch of stuff in here. It's cool. Did we bind the... Oh, no, we didn't set the... Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah. So what's going to happen with this is it's not ideal, but it's okay. So what is it? Join channel details, I think it is. Oh, it's channel join. Yeah. So channel join details, we're going to end up what the manager is going to do is it's going to look up the account, or so to rejoin stuff. It's going to, this is the way it's going to work right now. We'll see how it works later. What's going to do, it's going to look up the name of the channel. That should probably be changed, but we'll figure it out. And so it's going to be able to channel, it's going to ask the protocol to give us a basic channel join details. And then we're going to plop it in the name, the nickname, and we're going to skip password for now. This is the way my channel join hack plugin works. So it's going to read instead of name, that's going to be ID from the channel. That part needs to be figured out and ironed out later, but we'll figure it out. And then it's just going to tell the protocol to join it if the account's online. and then it'll just go and do its thing. But yeah. Is this hacking podcast? No. We are working on Pidgin Instant Messenger. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you used to use it. Maybe you know it. Maybe you used it. Maybe you used to use it. Maybe you know by its old name and game. It's a universal chat client that, I guess the about page is probably better. But yeah, like hacking is not something we typically would do here. We are programming. Oop. Cool. Re-enable links. The other ones? Okay, I got some issues here. Oh, okay. Ugh. Alright, CDP, Pidgin, clean, AC up, default. Making that alias is going to save me so much stupid time. Alright. Because we're on the right branch. Oh, whatever. We can't tell, but we can't change here anyways. Yeah. Alright. RBT land minus R 4047. What does our diff look like so far? Okay, that's not too bad. We've got to do member lists and some other stuff here, but that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Well, I thought we were gonna not do the member list. I don't remember. Haha. Well, like we put it in the queries and stuff. Come on. Okay. Remove Sophia's dependency 4046. We'll pull this out of all the build containers later. It's not a big deal to do it right now. Like those are fine, right? But getting them removed from that stuff just is only going to affect builds. Oh no. Whereas this would users would end up installing it and be like, "What the hell? You're not even using it." Right? It was like whatever, it's gone. I still can't believe regret is not. Nobody's used it as a project name. But yeah, so I was telling everyone earlier, we finally picked a name for the SIP library we were debating on writing. And basically we've decided we have to write it, which sucks, but whatever. And it's not going to be a full-blown SIP library. It's meant to be a parser and an integration library. We're still going to have to do all the other crap, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we're naming it libregret, or we're naming it regret, because SWK is like, you're going to regret it, man. You don't want to do this. So that's what we're naming the library, is regret. But I think we'll be okay, all things considered. Remove Sophia defaults. Okay. All right. So if this was added in Mason 1.1, we are going to go and use Mason 1.1. Worst that can happen is you rename it libregret, or regret naming it libregret. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole thing in the README for it that says why we named it regret. So apparently I found out today I have been saying Huron improperly and calling those birds herons. That's what I've been calling them, herons. But apparently it's hurons. Whatever. So I was thinking that could be the library name, being Huron, right? But that's not how you pronounce the word. So that they're the yeah. So that's not wrong. That's not right, right? But apparently there's another bird called an egret that looks very similar to a Huron. And so I'm looking at that and I'm like, wait a second, that fucking says regret. Heron. Okay, maybe that's it. Whatever. We all know I can't fucking speak English. But yeah, so like I'm looking at egret and I'm like, if we put an R in front of that, it becomes regret. That's amazing. So, you know, it has the bird name because it's an egret, but it's a library. People have told us we are going to regret writing. So it is that. So it's up already here. There's nothing here. This is bare bones project started. Yeah. English is not a phonetic language. No one knows how to pronounce. Yeah, exactly. And I am horrible at it. No regrets. I don't think I've seen that tattoo, but yeah. So, oh, whatever. So the readme and stuff is right here. If anybody wants to read it. So we need to get the docs part of the builds, or not the docs part. Oh yeah, we need to get the container stuff set up yet. But my first step, I've been collecting SIP messages for unit tests, existing stuff. So CD test messages. So this guy had a bunch of stuff. He had it in whatever. I've got it marked in the README. I don't have this committed yet, but you know, he had them up on GitHub. They were in a Node.js library. I just split them out to separate files, and then I made sure that the file is just literally the SIP message. Right, so like if we look at 200 OK, now you'll have to be careful because it needs the character return line feed, but that's why HD 200 OK SIP, right? So blink, ODOA, where's the next one? ODOA, right? So we're gonna have to get careful with this with well, I mean the unit test will fail if it's wrong, so whatever. But SIP uses SIP like HTTP. SIP has basically the same parser as HTTP. It has a status or I forget what they call it, status line or a message line, followed by headers, followed by a blank character. Every line is character return line feed. Then it is a blank line between the headers and the body. And I think SIP also ends with a double ODOA. Maybe SWK can confirm that. Otherwise, I have to go reference it in the spec, and he's going to tell me not everybody does it, and if that's the case, so be it. And I'm going to have to deal with that. But so you finish an HTTP request at least with ODOA. So we'll see. First done by a cat wrong. Second pick, but the first one's ironically on brand. No egrets? Yeah. See, we're naming it after egrets. No regrets. Yes. Awesome. But yeah. So egrets is exactly how we got to the name. So that is definitely on brand for this name. But the thing I say about any of the names for any of our projects is they have to have at least 2 puns to them. Right. So maybe not a pun per se, but right. So like it's named after a bird, like all our stuff. And then there's a pun with it too. Right. And that's how you have a good name. But yeah. So anyways, the idea is we'll build out a bunch of stuff to test the parser this way. And I'm hoping people, or what we'll do over time is we'll build up a corpus of like known broken messages and stuff. And then we'll put it in there. I was talking to SWK earlier, and I realized I'm probably going to put a JSON file next to these that has the expected values so that we don't have to codify them in C. Right, so I can just say, hey, load this source, or this is the input message, this is the expected message. The input message is raw text, right? That's a .zip file, and then the expected JSON, and then parse the JSON, go from here, and we're good to go. And then that way, I can write a unit test that will parse the message, and then check the properties according to the JSON file. and then go from there. But there's a lot of stuff we have to do first, right? I've got to build a data structure around the headers. I can't use a hash table. I mean, you can use a hash table, but it gets weird because headers can be specified multiple times, stuff like that, right? So I got to build all that stuff out before we can build the rest of it. We have this parse, this status / message line, and body we don't care. We just dump it in. That's just a text field, right? That's not a big deal. But we'll start with all that and then go from there. And then the idea is similar to IBIS, right? So like IBIS itself mostly just parses the IRC messages and gives you an easier way to access them. So like at some point we'll have something that'll let it, or where based on a message, you can ask it to parse the SDP. That says what protocols you're negotiating and stuff like that, right? So then you will get an object rather than having to parse the SDP yourself. You'll get an object that'll have everything broken up into the SDP for you and stuff like that. Same thing with SIP URLs, parsing those out to their different things and all that. And this is what we mean by an integration library, right? Like it's going to make that stuff available to you to make it easier to use. And then you don't have to worry about the rest of it. So, all right, but we have an ad that's about to start. I need to get water and I need to pee. So I will be back momentarily. All right, right back. All right. Oh, I guess the ad took a while to get started because it's still going for 50 seconds, which is fine because I need to jump on the Amazon quick. So, they say you're supposed to change your toothbrush every 3 months. I realized I have a much better time if I replace it monthly. I thought I had more in the cabinet. So I threw mine out and I went to go get one out of the cabinet, and yeah, I don't have any more. Oh, I thought I had these on subscription. I guess not. That would be the problem. So I threw out my one and only toothbrush earlier today. I don't want to subscribe and save. Free delivery tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Good. Oh, I have to get to $25. Okay. Oh, can I get to $25? I need to get $20 worth of stuff to get this here tomorrow. Or is it cheaper to just pay for it? I could get extra hair stuff. That wouldn't be a problem. Or Well, I'll go through the cat food eventually. Sure, we'll just add the extra cat food. $25 worth of toothbrushes solve this problem for years. No, so I'm buying 4 toothbrushes at a time. That's like $5.50 or $6, right? And if I use one each month, I would have to buy 5 of them, so that would be 20 months. So year and a half, not even years. Well, we're not calling it lib regret, but yes. But no, I can just grab. Oh, there's a coupon too. Oh, when you subscribe and save. Okay, whatever. Yeah, add this to one-time purchase. Boom. Okay. Now, so like, Chewy, I get a bag of cat food delivered every 2 weeks, but sometimes I end up a day or two short. Like I run out of cat food a day or two before Chewy gets it to me. So sometimes it's just easier to go or sometimes I have to just go and buy another bag, which is stupid, but it's fine. Right. So tomorrow I'm going to get toothbrushes and cat food between 10 and 3. Looks fine. But then I'm going to go put the... I think this is the problem. Like, I meant to put the toothbrushes on subscribe and save, and I forgot. So I'm going to now add it to subscribe and save. Ooh, I'm going to save 30 cents. We're going to set up now. Delivery every 5 months? Okay, whatever. But I'm just going to push back my start date. Can I change the start date here? What the hell? July 23rd. It's not letting me change the month. Oh no, there it is. Every 4 months is what I would want. And sure, if I get a little ahead, who cares? Whatever. Boom. There we go. All right. Cool. That is done. I can brush my teeth tomorrow. All right. Go. We need to go Mason license. HE up, Mason license. Rebase minus D default. Keep branches. Ninjago. Starting to get a headache. I'm not sure if it's caffeine. No, it shouldn't be caffeine related. I had soda with dinner with caffeine. Yeah, so the solution here is going to be Mason build. I don't know how I didn't see the warning on that either. It should be in here too. Mason will warn you when you're doing... Oh, yeah, look at that. The problem is it's before the summary, and then I went right to the build, and our summary with all our sub-projects is a bit much. All right, so there's our summaries. Cool. Most of our other stuff, we're requiring Mason 1.1 anyways. Which review request is this? 4045. That's funny. As I've gotten older, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of my teeth. I'm gonna brush my teeth and floss every day, and like I'm not gonna use a toothbrush to the point where it's like, how is this thing not falling apart? The weird things that change about your personality as you get older. I still say, one of the times I most felt like an adult is when I bought a brand new smoke detector because I did not have one. I'm just like, oh, this feels like being real responsible, right? All right, what do we got here? Not really any need to use Mason Project source root as the source directory is already searched before path. Unless Pidgin is a subproject. Like, I used this in the event that Pidgin is a subproject, which I may be doing in secret somewhere. All I'm going to say about that is because libpurple is not its own repository, if you want to pull it into a project, if you want to pull in Purple 3 into another project, you have to use it. You have to pull in Pidgin as a sub-project, set default options to turn off the UI. And then at that case, a dot plus or dot slash won't work because you're not in that directory anymore. But I may have started tinkering with something that I'm trying to get cleared. Or here. What's this? What's this? Oh, it's 410. I thought it was 300. Hey, doesn't that look kind of... I have to change the size, but this is... Yep. For some reason, the search thing isn't working right, but... That's all I'm going to say about that. We're not sure we can even use the name or anything yet, but we're tinkering and playing it wrong. So the right, right. I put it as purple 3.wrap, right? So I'm pulling down a specific version, blah blah blah, and then. Where the... Yep. So pull in purple 3 version 2. Greater than 2.91.0. This was before we did the release, clearly. And turn off GTK and turn off Unity integration. And anything else I might have to turn off, I don't know. But yeah, the idea has been, so a lot of people have expressed their disinterest, or what's the right word? That they don't like that Pidgin 3 is merging the contact list and conversations into one window, and that you always have that sidebar. Even if you can hide it, right? It'll always be there. So, a better way to explain this is Pidgin 3 is meant to be more of a multi-user chat room kind of user interface, whereas Pidgin 2 and earlier is more of a direct message, one-to-one focused interface, right? So the thing is, to help people understand, libpurple, we've always tried to make user interfaces easy to build, not necessarily simple, right? But the idea is like that's what we've been going for and stuff like that. All right. Well, okay, if you say so. That seems silly, but let's double check. But anyway, so the idea is at some point, libpurple is getting pulled out of the Pidgin repository. It's going to have its own repository at some point, right? There's not a whole lot of value to do that right now. But the user interface, as I've said it time and time again too, right? So even in Pidgin 3, right? We're at 15,495 lines of code. There's still a lot of stuff that has to happen and stuff, right? Even 16,000 lines of code is not a lot of code. So us building another user interface on GTK, it's not that it's no work, but it's not nearly as bad as like building Finch, which is a completely different UI toolkit that we also happen to maintain. Right? So like we can easily give an old retro feel because we already know the tech very well and everything's built for it already, right? And you know, it's our root, so it makes sense. So that's the idea, but we're trying to get the name cleared. And we haven't yet. All right. Execute a script we searched for in path or other places inside the product. Search order is program override set by find program. Provide sections in the rat file. Binary section in your machine file. Directories provided using the DIR's quarg. Project source tree relative to the current subdir. Okay, he's right. Yeah. If you use the return value of configure file, the current subdir inside the build tree is used instead. Path, environment variable. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. No, but I did confirm it on blah. Right. But yeah, so that's the idea. So the game trademark has expired and it's been abandoned by AOL and Oath. So right now I'm trying to get the I Am Freedom board to agree to pay to get us cleared for the name. To get us cleared for the name, we have to pay a lawyer to do a worldwide trademark search. And that's not exactly cheap. We have the money to do it. We just have to agree to do it. Oh, no, this is the other one. And that it may come back that we're not cleared to use it, and then we're just throwing the money away, right? So that is a very real possibility. But because there's only 27 people here and 3 on YouTube right now, 30 people total. The idea was originally that we were trying to get it set up to announce it on April Fool's Day this year. Obviously, nowhere near that. So the idea is, depending on where we get with Pidgin 3, building Game 3 in the meantime shouldn't be too much more difficult. And the idea is to release/announce it on April Fool's. Because that would just be hilarious. People will be like, wait, this is real? Right? So that is the idea. Cool. Like, what do I want to say? Simplify path to the script. Okay, yeah. modify define program calls. Boom, ba-da-bum. Oh, I don't. So the other one was ready to go to the Mason license 4045 RPT land. The minus R 4045. It's funny, I just saw somebody post on, I think it was Mastodon, about how, like, we don't have presence information like we used to back in the ICQ days, where you can be like, do not disturb or away. It's just idle, available, or offline anymore, and how this is detrimental to everybody. Because even if you could put yourself to away, you still get a push notification to your phone, and that immediately notifies you, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we're trying to get there. I swear. And there is a secret stretch goal I have for the next release. We'll see where it gets. We might have to push it out to experimental 5. But that is to get the Android build going. The main issue right now is you need like Mason 1.8.1 or 1.8.2 or something. And once that gets a little bit easier for us. Do I even have that? I don't even think that's in Debian yet. Yeah. Catch policy Mason. Oh, I can get 1.8.2 out of experimental, right? But the you might need specific patches too for it to make it work better, right? We don't want to have to do anything where you need to patch Mason. Like if we have to say you need Mason 1.8.2, cool. But we don't want to be like, you need Mason 1.8.2 plus you have to manually apply these patches and download from this. We don't want to do any of that. That's just way too much work. Especially when you consider all the build agents and everything. It's just like, yeah, that's way too much noise. Although I suppose you can probably rewrite it with Mason rewrite. And we could just do that for the Android build. And we wouldn't have to do it everywhere. But, whatever. Finally, people don't have to tell me that I forgot to do the thing. Give you a minute to hit fixed. Yeah, so I'm realizing too, yeah, it's okay. So with the channel loading stuff, a protocol is going to have to pay attention. If we're going to load the conversation members directly, they're going to have to manage the state of the users when the channel becomes online again, which isn't a huge deal, but it's something they're going to have to do. Right. So if the conversation is offline and we keep all your users there, when you rejoin it, like IRC will have to clear it because it's not going to get in a full state initially. So when we get the join, it'll clear the member list, and then when NAM reply or who comes in, it'll update it and bring everybody back or whatever. So that's just is what it is. Okay, cool. It's fixed. But yeah, so now when I update a dependency, it will tell us that it failed, except for Zeem. So because I had to use a heuristic to make this work, if something's not using a tarball that has the version number in it, it's not going to work. So there's an ignore list built into this so we can turn it on. So like right now, Zeem doesn't have a release. We pull it through HG. So it doesn't have a version number. So we have to add it to the ignore list. It's a little weird, it's a little clunky, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. All right. I gotta get back to this guy too, and this one. That we'll do at some point, and this. What? I think I added a comment on this. I don't know why we did. Or maybe I left it open so I can find the bug easier. Oh no, I didn't comment it on this at all. All right, well, we'll get to that later. So the idea is once we get the conversation manager serialized to SQLite, we're going to get the contact managers serialized to SQLite, and then we'll be pretty good there. Okay, where were we here? We got that, we got that. I think we're through all the property. We got creator. Yeah, so we don't have the air stuff in here yet. That's okay. It's not ideal, but it's all right. Yeah, it should be fine. All right, so what else did we put in the schema here? Conf manager.sql. All right, so there's more fields here we didn't do yet. We put in almost all of them. It's mostly the air stuff we just didn't do. Because we built the helpers for daytime and stuff, but we just didn't do airs yet. Oh, tags. Okay, yep. So we gotta go through the tags. I don't know that IRC has any tags. Yeah, okay, then we got the members, and then we got the member tags and member badges. This is where it gets a little crazy. Tags should be relatively straightforward, though. But yeah, so I think we're good with properties. But then this will be same deal. Static void. Save conversation tags. Verbal conversation manager, comma, although maybe we might hold off on the members and do that as a separate pull request. Again, I try not to get the pull request past 500 lines. That's my target. To keep pull requests under 500 lines, otherwise it gets to be too much to look at and everything. So we'll see where we get with that. But we got G error, start error equals null. G boolean success equals false. All right. Oh, this is not static void. This is static bool G boolean, and then this is going to be the same setup. Save the tags, the conversation tags. Build a rollback that, insert tags. Yeah, so this is a benefit too, where if we had a rollback and a reset statement, we could do that all here at once. Or even, well, we wouldn't have the step full, but, or commit and reset, right? And then that way we can just get rid of, you know, these 5 lines of code for each one, which would be super. This is, all right, insert tags. Okay, so that looks good, but we need to do the insert tags. So what does that schema look like? Okay, so we just take the account ID, conversation ID, and we drop the tag in. There's nothing to it, but we have to make the statement, right? So, the stupid part is we have to delete all the existing tags. Right? So we want to say delete from conversations where conversation ID equals conversation ID, and it's fuck. I don't remember. Is it double ampersand? Is and or double ampersand? Well, I guess we'll have SQLite tell us. Delete from conversation tags where conversation ID equals foo and account ID equals bar. Okay, that looks okay, and it is not that. That's syntax error. Okay, good. And I've got the fucking name wrong. Did I put a semicolon at the end of this? I did not. Okay. This is delete tags. We're not trying to actually like manage the tags. We just wipe them and then put the whole thing in again. It's too hard to keep track of them otherwise. Okay. G resources. Delete tags. Insert tags. We should probably sort these. I guess we could have sorted all of them. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Oh, damn. Let's go pop. All right. So insert tags is pretty much the same. Insert into conversation tags. Conversation ID. Account ID. Yeah. Comma tag. Values. Conversation ID, account ID, tag. Should we do an on conflict here? No, I think oh, already on conflict is ignore. Cool. Does this work, or how does this work? Did I need to do the upsert stuff in the statement or not with that? I don't know. SQLite primary key on conflict. When a unique or primary key constraint violation occurs, replace algorithm deletes pre-existing rows that are not causing the constraint violation, or that are causing the constraint violation prior to inserting or updating the current row. And the command continues executing normally. If a not null constraint violation occurs, replace conflict. Yeah, I don't think we want replace here. We're doing the upsert instead. We shouldn't ever get to on conflict here, because we're deleting the tags and then putting them new. Same deal. We would change this to an upsert, but we have to wipe everything first. And the same deal, same thing here, and the same thing here. Ugh. Okay, so that makes things easier. Really wonder where they get some of these fireworks, man. They are ridiculous. Yeah, it should be it. Insert tags.sql. unused variable. Holy crap, that's fine. All right, so back here in the init method, where is it? Where the hell did we do it? Insert tags. Eagle statements are delete tags. Huh. Okay. Yeah, see, this is a problem too. Well, we'll have to figure out how to handle this better later. I'm not sure the best way to do it, but like, if we fail to do this stuff, like the database is broke. Do we keep running or not? I don't know. Right? Um, well, so insert delete tags. Insert tags. If not, manager database initialized. G warning. We just want to return here. We don't want to spit this out a million times. Because it'd be really annoying if it did it a million times, but that's okay. But this will stop all the other errors from happening, which is precisely what we want. All right, so we got this. Delete the existing tags since we just replace everything. Success equals Seagull statement step. Oh no, this is yeah. Manager delete tags. Then it's just error, right? Yeah. Error is not equal to null. G warning. Fail to delete tags. Clear error, return false. Okay. Go. What the fuck did I do here? Jesus. Alright. Success equals we don't have to reset this. The statement never changes. We can just run it again and again. There's no state changes, right? At least I think so. After prepared statement has been prepared using any of the... It's one of the... actually, I want to just look at reset. It's called to reset a prepared statement object back to its initial state, ready to be re-executed. Any SQL statement variables that had values bound to them in SQLite bind APIs retain their values. Oh, shit. Their statement with the return clause is only stepped one time. Does not change the values of any bindings on the prepared statement. That's okay. That's a problem. I need to call clear bindings. I am not doing that right now. Oh, actually, we might be doing that. We might be doing that. Nope. Did we put a clear bindings in? I don't remember. I hope we did. If not, yeah, there it is. Okay. So we should be calling clear bindings and a minimum. Because we need to be doing that. We need to be freeing memory and other stuff. That's actually interesting. Hold on. Oh, because we're binding null. We're rebinding everything. That's how we're getting around it. Okay. But yeah, I don't know if we need to be doing both of these or not. We definitely need to be doing this, though. Okay, that we definitely need, and we've been missing. We also need to do it on success, too. Oh, so much ridiculous code. Yeah, I think we just do the conversation properties and the tags as a serialization right now. Let's get start. Yeah, then we can worry about members later. And as part of that, we can... So, and then in tandem, right, if we have this stuff in, this means we can start doing the code to reload the conversations. And then in tandem, when that's done or being reviewed or whatever, then we can work on the serialization of the members. And then when the members are done, then we can go back and do the loading of the members. Okay. We don't have to clear bindings on the delete tags, but we do need to reset the delete tags. Okay. I think that's happier now. Or not. Shit, 273. Okay, good. It's just this one. Okay. Delete the existing tags. Now. And insert them. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to say, or for the conversation, we need an account. Find the conversation and account IDs. So one of the things SQL does that SQLite doesn't do is we do error checking on binds and columns. SQLite doesn't do that on either of them. It'll just, if you do something bad there, it just ignores it, which is weird, but okay. Bind text, manager, insert tags, comma, it's the name, right? Yeah. Conversation ID, comma, purple conversation, get ID, conversation, -1, null, error. If not success, what are we doing this way? Failed to bind, station ID to insert tags. Okay. Same deal again, or find the conversation ID. Find the account ID. Account equals purple conversation, get account, conversation. Account ID, purple account, good ID, account, filter bind, account ID to insert tags, cool. Run through the tags and insert them. Return true, we'll end up here, that's fine. We need a tags object. Shit, this is still the glist interface, damn it, that's fine. Yeah, so there's a get all method here, which returns a list, a glist. It's okay, it sucks, but it'll work. For glist star tag L equals tags. L is not equal to null. All right, this is, what's this return? All right, I don't get ownership of this at all. That's fine. L equals L next. This sucks, but it's all right. Const car star tag equals L data. Sass equals SQL statement bind text manager insert. Oh no, there are definitely tags on here. There's a tag for the type and some other stuff. I forget what else is all here. In the statement, we just made it tag, right? Yep, good. Nope. Yeah, I think that does it. Oh. It's like, what? Oh yeah, that the tags object is not a list, but get all returns a list. Don't see any warnings or errors. That's cool. That seems weird. I thought we definitely put some hard-coded stuff into tags. Uh, G warning, conversation, %p hash, %u tags. G list length, purple tags, get all tags. Yeah. Oh. Thanks everybody for watching and not catching my error. You kind of have to step the statement. that might help. Sorry, when I first time checked. Step the statements. Fail to insert tag. Just like, why isn't this working? Like, oh, because I only bound it. I didn't actually ever run the statement. Yep. Professional developer here. Failed to bind parameter tag, bad parameter, or other API misuse. Oh, I probably have to yeah, I have to reset it between each step. So I probably have one tag in here. No. Alright, I don't know. Okay, hold on, let's go back. There should be... Bad parameter or other API misuse. That generally happens on when the first one fails. Figure out how to cut your MQTT bandwidth uses by 80% today, and you still don't know what took me so long. Uh-oh. So, I was sharing this one around. Check this out. Gzip the payload? Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. So, for a while, I have just been... The OpenBSD build agent has been failing with it can't access SSH, whatever, and I couldn't figure out why, and so like I would just manually log into the machine and start it as the proper user and just go on with my business. So yesterday, or is it Tuesday? I don't remember. I finally figured it out. Oh, oh. I finally found the problem. What a stupid fucking problem. So the what the caveat of this problem is this has been here forever. This line was typoed forever. But it would work previously because we were just doing HTTP auth to HTTkeeper, and it was fine. The problem is when the AI crawler bots got so bad, we would get to the point where we would disable the web interface while I was streaming, so we could just get shit done. But that meant the build agents couldn't pull the code, so I updated all the build agents to access it via SSH, so we could disable the web at front end and everything would work. The problem is, so the SSH private key gets dumped into the TeamCity user's home directory. So when the daemon starts as root, it doesn't have that key in root's home directory, so it would fail to clone. And it ended up falling to be root because the variable name in the RCD file for OpenBSD is daemon user, not daemon user, because I typoed it. If a first-time chatter was here, we might have gotten it. But, yeah. But yeah, that goes back to the beginning of this file. And... oh, I wanted my Steve. So, 5 years? Give or take. So, init script, we added the init script in 2020. January of 2020. There's some tweaks in 2022. But then there's this fix in 2025. Yep. So that bug has been there for a very long time. But it's found and fixed now. Yay. But yeah, so similar to your gzip problem. I transposed daemon, and that was it. All right, so we need to reset the statement. Yeah, so the other idea is to do a step and reset. I don't know if we want to do that, but we'll see. If that fixes this problem, cool. Oh, all the resets are down here. Hopefully that'll fix their problem here. Your favorite comment and I don't know why I'm leaking memory. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's a bummer. That would be a bummer. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. We are not seeing the failures now. So, in theory... Oh, yeah. Look at that. So. Cool. Yep. So, in reality, we don't have to reset the tags. Oh, no, we do have to still reset it in case it erred. But yeah, so in between proper uses, we have to reset it and go from there. We don't care about the return value. So. Okay. Oh, we do need to clear the bindings, though. We're almost done. I did clear bindings first, I think. Yeah. Insert tag statement. Very honest, free switch dev days, I was testing some very experimental SIP patches. And for about 3 hours, free switch was just not seeing SIP messages. But you can see SIP message and TCP dump. Okay. What was it? Ask someone else to look. Yep. As one does. And then they instantly spot it. Don't worry, we've all been there. Not null constraint. What? Why did... Oh, shit. I can't clear bindings. Yeah. Rebinding is fine. Clear bindings there should be fine. Okay. He says, hey, dumbass, you don't have 5060 open in IP tables? Oh, no. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it. Cool. So, I think we're good here. So you learn about libpcap hooks, the network stack before IP tables? Yeah. That'll get you. All right, so you know, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do these first. Right, we have to do these regardless. So if we do these here, then we roll back the transaction. Did I miss the reset? I did. I missed the second reset. You knew that already, but that's the instance. Yeah. Those are definitely good ways to do that. I put this in the wrong spot. Yeah, so then we don't need this. Save the tags, commit the transaction. And we're going to do the same thing here, where the clear bindings and reset should be outside of this. And then this just has to handle the transaction. Okay. So I wanted to start getting more of this implemented before I start adding more stuff to Siegel. right? So like SQL's functional, cool, but like where are the pain points, right? What are the problems with the API? And that's, we're not going to figure that out until we start doing shit, right? Um, so if this all works, still, we're going to nuke the database. We're going to let it run, make sure it updates everything combined. Then we're going to nuke the database, start again, make sure everything looks all right. And there's no errors or warnings or anything, and then go from there. I suppose we get started with the nuke database, but whatever, that's fine. Okay, so no errors, no warnings. Good, 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 good. Right. Conversation tags look good. Conversations look good. Cool. We're gonna exit out of here. Kill this, come here. RM conversations.db. Scratch the cat booty. And scratch the head. As he purrs into the mic, I hope. Hey, mister. Yeah, how are you? You're too early for treats. Sorry. Try again later. He's like, oh, I will. I'm going to try right now. Come sit in the bed. Alright, we're going to move to the database. We run again. Ooh. Aha. Okay. Weird. What? Need to get a new cat food bucket? Like the one that holds the bag of food? Or just snacks? Hi, mister. Raccoons to figure out how to open your... Oh, no. Oh, that's right. You have outside cats. Yeah, speaking of raccoons, I bought a greenhouse. It's supposed to get here on Thursday, next Thursday, I think. The 9th or something. Because they are like playing King of the Hill or something on my potatoes. So I'm growing potatoes in grow bags. And they just like to play on top of the grow bags. And they have destroyed my red potatoes. And they are destroyed most of my russets. So, yeah. Go through about 20 pounds of cat food a week. Yeah, I'm like 10 pounds. Actually, no, more than that. But, yeah, I go through a lot. All right. Oh. Oh, no, it should all be the same. Wait, what? Oh, no. That's the account ID. Where's the conversation ID? Oh, right. So what's a duplicate here? On the upside, the new bucket holds 40 pounds now. Jesus. You picked up feeding a new cat, and she's obviously dropped kittens recently. They can't find it? Oh, boy. Yeah, so we brought in a feral who was pregnant, and she had 6 kittens. They are almost a month old now, I think. They're starting to come out and be playful and stuff. I haven't had a chance to handle them yet or anything. I'm like, let them stay with their mom, everything get comfortable, blah, 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 and then I'll go bug them. Failed to reset the statement. Unique constraint failed. That doesn't make sense. Why would the reset? Oh, no, that's... Statement, get SQL. Get expanded. SQL. It might not fail this time, but we just need to kill the database and let it do its thing. Oh, I can turn this off now. Holy shit, I need to not build the docks here. Failed to step the statement. Why didn't it give me the... Oh, because it... Where? I want both. Wait, no, so the delete is failing, because it's supposed to delete these first. Right, because every single one of these is failing. This isn't like it got a dupe. It just deletes failed. What the fuck? We reset delete tags. Um... Is there a way in SQLite to, like, watch what the fuck's going on? Because, like, this should definitely be happening. And it looks like it's not. Right? Um... How did I do the other one? Alright, it's spaces. Unique constraint failed. But, like, it should have deleted everything. Uh, oh, tap with it. Uh-huh. Oh, I was wondering how you do that, but okay. Do 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 do. I don't think that's really what we want, but we should probably do this at some point with Seagull. Oh, really? Okay. This isn't quite what I want either. I want like a debug. Single light show, running commands. Yeah, like I don't think SQLite does this in some way. Logs? Query logging. There's no easy way to do the SQLite like there is in, but there's some options. Some wrapper libraries have something like this built in, but to find a wrapper library, you would probably first need to define it. Okay, yeah. I would not in any way recommend the following for a production grade solution, but if you are mainly experimenting and debugging, you might want to try examining the rollback journal just prior to the end of the transaction. You can ask on a very... Okay, we should probably be doing that, but we're not. Write-ahead logger wall file is used in place of a rollback journal and SQLite is operating in wall mode. As with the rollback journal, the purpose of the wall is to implement atomic rollback and commit. Wall file is always located in the same directory as the database file and has the same... We should be turning that on. SQLite wall mode. It's probably a pragma that we're missing. Using database must be on the same host computer. Wall does not work. Transactions that involve changes against multiple attached databases are atomic for each individual database, but are not atomic across. Oh, that's interesting. It's not possible to change page size after entering wall mode or any other database. Either on an empty database or by using vacuum or by restoring from a backup using backup API. It must be in rollback journal mode to change the page size. I don't care about page size. There's the operation of checkpointing, which how well works. How do I turn it on? Journal mode equals wall. All right, we don't have a way to turn that on right now from Seagull. That's okay, but I don't think we do anyways. We have DB. We don't allow you to pass any. Yeah. We should probably just add pragma, which will set up the pragma for you, and then you just pass in whatever you want. What? Oh, do. Pragma. Yeah, this would be DB pragma. So run the pragma statements. This will just run the pragma given pragma statements. This is medium-ish, I guess we're gonna say. It's gonna end up going to me. It's fine. We might have subsystems here. Scheduled 06. Did we do 05 yet? Fuck, I don't remember. No. I don't think we did anyways. Oh, we did 5 already. Okay. So yes, this should be 06. Okay. I don't know how, like, it's weird that they pragma as well have different responses, which sucks, but oh right, you just write the statement and then run it that way. Yeah. That's weird, but okay. We clear the bindings, we reset the tags. If it's successful, or it wasn't successful, we try to roll back. Yeah, I don't understand what the fuck's going on here. SQL white get rows deleted. Actually, select all the important data in the cache, so delete will run quickly. SQLite has a returning clause. It's not a statement itself, but a clause that can optionally appear near the end of a top-level delete, insert, and update statement. The effect of the returning clause is to cause a statement to return one result row for each database row that is deleted. Oh, insert or updated. Returning is not standard SQL. It is an extension. SQLite's syntax returning is modeled after Postgres. The returning syntax has been supported by SQLite since 3.5.0. Returning clause is designed to provide an application with the values of the columns that are filled in automatically by SQLite. For example, in the insert statement above, SQLite computes the values of all three columns. The returning clause causes SQLite to report the chosen values back to the application. This saves the application from having to issue a separate query to figure out exactly what values were inserted. Selected by column separate list of expressions. Not available on delete and update statements against virtual tables. Only available on top level delete and what the fuck? You can use a changes call right after your delete query. Oh shit! Yeah, we don't have this. That's okay. Like I can use this right now for debugging, but all right. So for debug purposes, manager delete tags. Int changed equals SQLite 3 changes. Oh, that was the database. Oh, that's fine. I just don't need that then. Then we just need manager dash DB. G warning, delete, changed, %d rows. What? Oh, yeah. No. What's the problem? I have this on a type. Oh, we do have it in types. No, that's, man, what the fuck? Why is this saying it's a pointer to a pointer? SQLite 3 star. Ain't crash, that's okay. Delete change to 0 rows. How did this fucking work at all? I am just being ridiculously dense. Delete tags has properties as parameters that we're not setting. We're just stepping the statement. And that's failing, so it's not deleting anything. Whoops. So, we have to fix that. All right, so that's not what we want. Const star conversation ID equals null. Const star account ID equals null. Grab the conversation ID and conversation and account IDs as we need them for everything. Probably because the manager struck you declared as a pointer. No, we have a type alias for it. And the SQLite 3 object is supposed to be a pointer anyways. So we just, but it's not type deft as a pointer. So I don't know why it got confused, but whatever. Typecasting it was fine. Right, see, like everything here, like the SQLite 3 object is not, that's not a type deft struct pointer, it's just a type deft struct. So, I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. All right. Conversation ID. Do the insert statement. Like we could do bind text v or something, and we could pass in multiple, but then the veradic thing would get problematic because of all that. We'd have to reorganize the arguments. Yeah, just weird C stuff. Oh, but yeah, then we do have to clear the pot. Yeah, what the fuck? Or we don't, yeah. We do have to clear the bindings after this, but that's fine. That's fine. It's not a big deal. This becomes delete tags, conversation ID, with delete statement. Okay. And then I don't know how many times I had to tell myself that we didn't have to do it that way before I realized that, yeah, no, we do need to do it that way. Reset, and then yeah, we want to clear bindings. We do clear bindings before reset. I don't know that it makes a difference. Yay, we don't see a billionaires again. Yay. No errors. Tags look good. Conversations look good. Run again. Cool. We need to get rid of that one. That's a bug, but it's okay. Alright. Oh, alright. There's Ned's about to start. I gotta get water. I gotta pee. I will be right back. Alright. Alright, so I think we're okay with the serialization part here. Like I said, we'll worry about members later. This gets us the first step. You're not getting more treats. You got one in the bowl you can get. You're not getting new ones. Mr. Slayer. Beware the tentacle. The tail tentacle. The tentatail. Tentatail? Sure. I missed her. Oop. All right. Aye. Did we get it? No, we did not get your goops. It's been getting really bad eye crust lately. Oh, you just want lots of attention, huh? I'm probably gonna go watch a movie after this, give him some cuddle time. Yeah, get that one treat in there. That one treat. Okay. In the wrong window. Trying to cursor through. Don't know what's going on at all. Aye. Well, you can lay in the bed. He's like, or you could just pet me. That's like, what the hell's hitting my arm? It's his tail. Nope, no more right now. Gotta come back later. I had too many. He was naughty yesterday. He got into my roommate's room where the feral, well, semi-feral, and her kittens are. And oh boy, did he get his ass kicked. He was not happy about it. Got his ass kicked by the mama, I mean. But it woke me up from a dead sleep. Oh, you know what? It might be nice to have a bind text simple, or we don't have to give these. Kind of like super optimizing, but or micro optimizing. So what version is? Oh, I know it's in Seagull, anyways. But what version of Seagull are we requiring? SQLite are we requiring in Seagull? 3.27. 3.25 had the return thing, right? Three dot 35. I thought they had a list. Okay, well, maybe something to look at. Not that we really care about it right now, but aye. Like, I feel like there's some way we could use returning to clear out the tags. So we would just insert on conflict ignore, and if return gives us the right values, we could then use that as a subquery to delete from where not in. But that seems like a lot of busy work. Ooh. be my roommates? I don't think this is me. I don't know what the hell is this. Something's gonna get delivered on Friday. That's all I know. Okay. Yeah. Serialize conversations and their tags. This is the first step of a few to keep track of conversations. Between program, what do I say? Instances, running, invocations, locations of the program. Sure. Right now, this just serializes conversations and their tags, but in the future, we'll be able to recreate the serialized conversations. Oh, that's fine. Bugs closed. This isn't actually bugs closed, but opened 8 months ago. Oof. Yeah, so we're not going to worry about passwords right now. Just if you have a password, you're screwed. It doesn't work, not implemented. When we clean up the credential stuff to allow more, the problem with the credential stuff right now is there's no indication as to what it's actually for. Because the assumption was it was only going to be used for account passwords, but that's not necessarily true. There could be a bunch of stuff for it. It could be for specific rooms, could be or invite keys for rooms, could be other stuff, and we need to account for that and deal with that. So that is what it is. All right, testing done. Use the channel join hack to, or whatever. Joined some channels and verified they were serialized. Restarted the program and made sure there were no errors. Changed the topic in an IRC channel and verified it updated. Deleted the database and made sure everything was restored correctly. Okay. How big did this end up being? 573, right? Like I said, my goal is 500. Because there's a lot going on here, and we don't want to make it so much more complicated or anything. And this gets the gist of it down, and we'll go from there. It's still a bit more code than I want, but it's okay, right? The error checking is what kills us. The error checking is good, but we can write helpers around it and make it easier to deal with. Because right now it's a lot, right? But the other part is we get the first step in, we start implementing, we figure out how to increment on the wrapper library to make things easier, and then we can go from there, and then everybody wins. So, all right, we did just go through all this, so I'm not going to go through it again. But all right, cool. Then we can come over here. Slash 4048 has been created to serial conversations and their tags. Okay. This is in progress. Yep. Whatever. Open pull request. Cool. All right, cool. That's it. I'm going to get out of here because it's midnight. So, who do we want to go raid? All right, we're going to go raid Mr. Quantum Apprentice. All right, if you don't want to join the raid, you can go ahead and hit cancel above the chat. Otherwise, there's nothing else you need to do. In the meantime, be sure to follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification bell for whatever your level of notification is. In the meantime, you can find links to all my social media right over here. I do post on my Mastodon when I'm going to go live, so if you want to follow me there, feel free. Otherwise, you can join us on the officially unofficial Pidgin Discord right over here as well, and hang out when I'm not streaming. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for coming by tonight, and until next time, adios.